When we look at all successful businesses, they all share one thing in common, and that is not to blindly follow the others when the others are all crazy, but instead, they focus on their core competencies and try to expand on the market and find their niche position. The same applies to trendy travel we have here today. What they need to do right now is not to blindly follow the others in joining the zero-fee tour market, but instead, they should find the niche market that will allow them to do their core competencies, which is to find the blue oceans and to avoid the red oceans. A very good afternoon to you all. We're Team Vista, and may you allow me to introduce our team. I'm Jessica, this is Kenny, Philip, and also Rex. So we're very excited to be here today to present to you our two recommendations. The first is that we have planned to organize the premium personalized tours for mainland customers who are our inbound tour participants. This will be our short-term strategy. As for the long-term strategy, we're prepared to establish the vertical integration, which is to establish the DAs, which is the direct travel agencies in China, to help liaise with the Hong Kong businesses. And this will be our long-term strategy. And with these two strategies and recommendations in hand, what we plan to achieve is that we plan to acquire a niche market and also at the same time avoid the red ocean of the overcrowded zero-fee markets. And next, what we have right now is that with these two recommendations, we'll be able to tackle two key issues here with us today. The first is whether we would like to join the zero-fee markets, given that it's very prosperous at the moment. And the second is that if we do not join the zero-fee markets, what is our business model that we plan to use in order to overcome the competition with the zero-fee markets? And our vision today is that through tackling these key issues, we aim to achieve a consistent brand image, that goodwill that we have right now, and also to find a consistent income source that will lead us to a greater market in the future and allowing us to use our core competencies. And next, we'll move on to the situation analysis. What trendy travel's core competencies are right now is that they have a very high profit margin leisure trips, meaning that most of the income come directly from their leisure trips instead of the commission given by zero-fee tourists who buy things at the designated shops. And the second core competency is that they have a really good brand goodwill. And this is because they have been establishing very well-trained employees, and also they have been placing a lot of emphasis on their service qualities, and this had led them to their very established brand goodwill. And the third is that due to this brand goodwill and also the high service qualities, this has led them to a high customer retention rate, meaning that due to this satisfaction from customers, they're very willing to return and also join the other trips organized by Trendy Travel again. But what challenges are they facing at the moment? Let's take a look. The first challenge is that due to cheaper tour fees, which is almost close to zero, a lot of customers from mainland China who join the inbound tours, they're more keen on joining the zero-fee tours, and this has placed some threats to the current business of Trendy Travel. And the second threat and challenge they are facing is that currently they have been facing a declining amount of tourists who are coming from China, and this has affected their regular businesses. But when we're considering our recommendation, what we placed in mind is that there are three strategic priorities that are most important to us, and that our recommendation must in line with them. The first is that goodwill is very important to us, because goodwill is the only thing that will attract more customers to come and also to retain the current customers. The second is that we do not give up on our premium consumers' experiences, because we also believe that the good consumer services is the attraction point that will attract the current tour participants to come back and also to attract new customers. And the third is that we will not give up our consistent mid to high position, meaning that we will not resort to organizing very cheap tours or even zero-fee tours in order to sustain our business.
So Here comes more of the market analysis. As we all know that the zero-fee tour is a new market trend in tourism in Chinese market, and trendy travel must analyze how the zero tourism market and decide whether to go in or not. However, from this table, we can see that actually the zero-fee tours have a lot of weaknesses and threats that actually collide with those core competencies of trend travel. For example, for trendy travel, we have a good tour guides, and therefore it can gain a good customer loyalty, it has a good goodwill for the company, and also it can gain a high profit margins. While when you look back the features for the zero-fee tours, it can earn only a low profit due to the low tourism fee price. And also, the customer retention rate is low, and the goodwill will get lost if trendy travel really involves in the zero-fee tours business. And also, as TIC, that is the regulation body of Hong Kong tourism, has imposed more regulations that actually restricts the business space for zero-fee tours. And also, there are much more competitors as everyone wants to get involved in this new tourism trend. Last but not least, the customer base becomes unsustainable because people become richer, having a higher lifestyle, and they want to get a higher quality tourism. And therefore, we are not suggesting trendy travel to get involved in the zero-fee tour. Instead, we look about the zero-fee tour. On the side, economic logic is the inconsistent brand image, and loss of goodwill, and lack of economy of scale because it involves in the high-tiered services that it has been providing, and also those low tiers and cheap services. On the stakeholder interests, on the managerial perspective, if we really involve in the zero-fee tour, those tour guides may have a poor welfare, and therefore the stress may make them to produce a lower quality service to all our customers. And also, the market demand, as I mentioned, that many visitors demand higher quality service, and therefore zero-fee tour is never the outlook for the trendy travel. As my colleague Jessica mentioned, we are going to strive for the PPT service. That is what we call for the premium personal service in the short term. They provide really some high-tier service for those mainland tourists. While in the long term, we design about the vertical integration in the Chinese business. And also, the PPT service will be provided not only for the Chinese tourists, but also global tourists. In this positioning map, we can show that at here, we are providing some high-quality service with a medium to high price. But in the long run, with our PPT service and also the vertical integration, we aim at providing a series of high-quality service with a suitable increase in the price for our tourism. For a long-term goal that we have to maintain a consistent brand goodwill that we aim at provide really some high and good service, while we maintain a stable source that we can leverage our core competency, that is good service, good tour guide, and we can maintain a high profit margin. Let's talk more details about our recommendation, premium personal tour. Actually, it's a kind of tailor-made tours for those Chinese tourists who are really rich and demand high-quality services. The tour size will be small so that they can group themselves into some small groups and register a tailor-made tourist for them. And they can decide on the itinerary what kind of goods they want to buy, for example, alcohol or cigar or anything that they want in China, and they want to buy it in Hong Kong. And also they can enjoy a lot of high-end achievement, and we will use our core competency that we have some general relationship with the local service providers, such that we can really carry out this kind of service with an economy of scales in Hong Kong. For promotion, we will start promoting in the magazine so that those really have a high demand towards our high quality leisure ships can have a look at our service. But in the long term, we strive as the China and also the global market. In China, we'll start about the vertical integration for the designated travel agency. That we'll start to do our own direct promotion work in China so that we can keep our consistent high-tier brand image. And also for the price, as we have mentioned that mainland tourists have higher income, and therefore we assume that they can afford our high income because they will be granted high quality service. For the global one, we'll start to form more partnership with local agencies, and we'll introduce our PPT service not only to the Chinese community, but also to global tourists, so that we can really expand our customer base and maintain a sustainable and consistent profit source.
Now, after going through the recommendations, why is PPT the best options overall? We believe that PPT has the highest profitability in terms of per person, because what we are selling is the best quality service in Hong Kong. And we believe that by this, we will be able to ask for a higher premium price that is going to cover all the costs. And comparing to continuing our current position, we believe that the profit margin will be higher and with the same retention rate as the quality is ensured. And of course, can we leverage our core competency, our quality service, into this recommendation? We believe that we are somewhere left behind, but we are going there. And we believe that we need more training in order to achieve that service quality. And lastly, and most importantly, will the business being jeopardized by the poor reputation of the zero tour fee that has damaged Hong Kong's image as a tourist center. And we believe that PPT is a different market, and it will not be jeopardized by the bad image of zero tour fee, free tour. However, for the continuing current business and for socialized tourism, we believe that the market will be somewhat damaged by the negative impact, and therefore we believe that PPT is the best option that we have. After talking about why we're doing so, let's look into what we need in order to realize the plan. We noticed that we have a good network in Hong Kong in terms of giving us quality service. And we have the tour guide available, high quality tour guide that is available for making such services. We have the demand from the mainland. When you walk into Causeway Bay or Central, you can always see mainlanders wearing Louis Vuitton or Prada or whatsoever. But what they lack of is someone that is guiding them in Hong Kong. So we believe that the demand is really high. What we need is to establish such a service. And however, we do lack of two parts. The first one is the promotion of the idea. How can we promote this premium idea to our target customers? And we need a reliable designated agency in mainland China to provide us the demand that we are talking about. So in our recommendations, we need to realize two things. The first one is training. As I have just mentioned, we are getting into the appropriate service quality. However, we still need to intensively train our tour guide in order to provide the best premium service to our customers, and of course to promote. How can we promote into the target customers? We believe that by intensively advertising in high-end travel magazines in China, we will be able to get in touch with the target customers that we need. But more importantly, what we need is a business partner in China that is going to realize our plan as a DA. And we have three criteria that we believe that is most important in choosing this business partner. The first one is the reputation it has. It must have a good reputation of the service quality and the services that it provides overseas in order to be compatible with the brand image that we are looking for. And of course, lastly, it must have the customer network that is going to link us and the demand in China together. So, after looking into the short-term analysis, why do we need a vertical integration? This is a simple model of what we're having now in the travel agency market. First, tourists, they pay for money to the designated travel agency, and they extract a part of profit, and then they give money to us, the RA, and we extract a part of profit, and then we provide services to tourists. And by acquisition, we will be able to increase our profits by acquiring the designated travel agency that we are looking for. Of course, this is very aggressive, and we believe that we must look well into the plan in order to realize this. After all, we believe that this is a very good plan, and we can extract the best profit and with the best possibility.
Take a look at some risks that our implementations may have led to. What if the economy around the globe has been experiencing a downturn? What if the tourists are decreasing? While we do not lay off people as the zero tourism companies do, we maintain a very good and very appealing managerial decision, and we concentrate more resources for premium personalized services. For example, we provide more tour guides with a higher ratio of tour guide to tourist ratio, and for the tourists to provide a more premium and personalized service. And also, if we lack of appropriate customer source in the short run, as my team have mentioned, we will launch intensive marketing programs, and we also have a constant market observation over the effectiveness of our program. And also, business sustainability is one of our major concerns. So vertical integration and also raising the preemptiveness of our program and of trendy travel is one of our major goals within our implementations. Now we have the following assumptions. We assume that the niche market for premium tours is growing and it's profitable. Well, it's reasonable to project that, as we know that the consumer market in China is rising. When you look at the streets, when you look at Chinese people around you, you know that Chinese people are growing rich. And you know that the China market is enlarging every day and every year. And we also assume that the Chinese economy continues to blossom with the demand for quality of tourists raised continuously. We assume 4 externalities to be steady, which is the income source of the existing markets that we target in, the existing partnerships with the DAs that are located in the mainland China, the word of mouth that we are very relying on, and also the managerial structure to be consistent. With all these assumptions, we aim that with our goodwill, with our word of mouth, and also with our exclusive premium service that we provide to our customers, we aim to enlarge our profit source and to be sustainable in our business competition. And here comes the quantitative projections. We can see that the share of Chinese inbound visitors is actually going to level off according to the existing trends. And we also, on the other hand, see that average spending level of zero-fee tourists is actually lower than the level of the average spending per capita, which is increasing, as you can see in the bar chart. So basically, the difference between the average spending and also the difference between the average spending of zero tourist customers are the market that we're going to capture and are the opportunities that we aim to capture with our businesses today. And this achieves a sustainable business for us and also a higher profit margin, which gives us better business model on the current situation with the rival with the zero-fee tours. And here comes the roadmap to our success. On the first year, we conduct a market research on the premium Chinese tourists that we are targeting in. So we do not enter a new market simply with fresh minds. We do take a look at what they need, what they really want, what goods do they really want. Do they really want cigar, or do they want alcohol? Are there any other premium goods or services that they are looking for? Then we will also conduct consistent market observation to provide us with updated information. We launched the PPT program and also a market promotion in the second year, which is 2013, to ensure ourselves that the program is suitable, it's workable, and it's also targeting the major customers that we aim to target. Before we conduct vertical integration in 2 to 3 years, we aim to strengthen a strategic partnership with the DAs to ensure ourselves with sustainable and steady customer source of tourists from the mainland China. And we have a few red flags that we would like to address on, including whether the premium plans suits the mainlanders, whether the PPT is profitable after 2 years after it's implemented, and also whether the DAs give the expected rate to us after we acquire the DAs in the market. So constantly, as you can see, we aim to, on one hand, expand our business, and on the other hand, we keep a close eye on whether our implementations are profitable and as effective as we have predicted. Now, ladies and gentlemen, think back to the reality. Look around the streets. Do you see Chinese people? Do you see poor Chinese people wandering around the Hong Kong streets? You don't see poor Chinese people. But what travelers you see, what Chinese travelers you actually meet on the Hong Kong streets are rich. They are willing to spend, and they look for a premium and personalized services. So today, my team and I aim to provide this niche market, this exclusive need to this rising opportunity in the market. It's simple economics. We do not enter the red ocean market that has already been very competitive and in keen competition. We expand what we are strong in, and we provide a supply to this rising demand. So to acquire the blue ocean and to avoid keen competition is the red ocean is what we're aiming to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Questions?
You first. So, how are you going to identify the premium tourists from mainland China?
So we have two plans to assure that the premium tourists do come to our tours. For in the short term, as we have, our plan goes, we aim to provide, we aim to strengthen the strategic partnerships with the DAs. The DAs are actually the major source for our tourists because the tourists go to the DAs instead of us in mainland China. So basically, we maintain a really friendly and really sustainable partnership with these DAs, and on the long term, we try to acquire some of these DAs to ensure a long-term, steady, and also reliable source of these tourists to attract them to our tours. And also, we are launching intensive marketing programs like magazine promotions or other marketing programs if our plans do not work. So that's the red flag that we have been planning for.
And the reason that why we carry out the vertical integration in the mainland China is due to we really want to maintain a high quality and consistent brand promotion. Because from the case of the zero-fee tour, we know that some DAs in mainland China, they may have some poor service towards their customers, or they will employ some poor quality service providers. And therefore, we really want to attract those high purchasing power customers from the mainland China, that we really want to build up a brand image so that they can trust us. They can really enjoy our premium service. And therefore, by vertical integration with those DAs in China, we can help to promote our services directly. And this is the best way to arouse those really have the purchasing power to use the PPT service in the mainland China.
Why do you think you are able to find a high-end service provider in China to partner with you?
We're thinking there have been several criteria that we are thinking when we're coming up with this point. First of all, we see that there's a market for these customers, and therefore there will be a business opportunity. Because currently in China market, there are a lot of different customers. They're mainly categorized into two types. The first is that the customers who enjoy premium quality of service, and that they do not mind spending a lot, but they want a comprehensive and also good quality service package. And there are other customers who mainly want to join cheaper tours so that they can get into, they know about Hong Kong, and then they can come again in the future years and they can do their own shopping. And for the customers who want to have premium services, we see that they have a need of getting a complete comprehensive package, and that's why we're providing this opportunity by setting all the by arranging all the services and also all the transportation and the tour service for them. And with this huge market and also market opportunity in hand, we believe that the service providers in China, they will be attracted to this market opportunity and the profits that they can reap from this project.
Well, certainly we believe that a strategic partnership talks about mutual benefits. So basically what we're providing them is a supply. We do not see a lot of companies that provide inbound tours. We see a lot of expensive outbound tour companies in Hong Kong, but we do not see a lot of it's very rare for like inbound companies that target mainland customers. So basically there's a huge demand for premium and personalized tours to Hong Kong, but the DAs have to find an RA in Hong Kong, but there's not a huge supply for that. So I believe that the DAs need to find a collaboration in Hong Kong in order to provide and to satisfy their own customers. So there's a need for them to come to us, and we have a need to come to them, so the partnership forms.
So it's more like a partnership, right? Joint alliance, JV or alliance, right? It's not about acquiring them or whatever.
In short term, it's about partnership, but in long term, to guarantee a more sustainable and also more profitable market, we're looking for acquiring the DAs in China and to build a more sustainable source and a larger market for our own business.
Exactly.
So will the PPT would that be your main focus from now on?
Well, we have.
Or is it just an expansion of your current business, or no? Are you going to actually give up your current position and then just move away and then go to PPT instead?
It's actually an expansion of our current position, because right now what we are doing is that we are organizing tours which are from mid-end to high-end markets, mid-end to high-end customers who are from China, and they're joining our inbound tours. But we also want to expand our targeted customers, and they are the ones who join our PPT tours, and they will be enjoying the premium service and paying premium charges.
What do you think will happen to the low end, these zero fee tours in the long run with TIC regulation changes and that sort of thing?
Well, I believe that the zero fee tour, they are going to fall rapidly in long run because of the poor reputation that they have and the complaints and the media talking about all these in mainland China. You can see that when you look at the figures in the complaints that is filed by the customers enjoying the zero fee tours, you can see that in 2011, in January to May, they have filed like more than 150 complaints, whereas in 2010, it's only more than 80 complaints. So we believe that by media talking about all the zero tour, there will be more complaints, and the market will certainly fall in the long run.
So what will happen to those travel agencies that just concentrated on this zero fee tour business? Will they start competing with you guys?
Well, I guess they will either collapse, of course, if they do not have the resources to reform, or they would, of course, they would join our competition. So that's why we have to act prudently but promptly, because we know that customer awareness and the customer preference is very important, and we hope that through our implementation, in a year time, that we really start working on our both solutions. We aim that we establish a presence in the high-end customer market, because the higher end the service is, the more important the word of mouth is more essential is the word of mouth elements. So we hope to establish a strong awareness of our company and to establish a strong presence in the high end customers' view, so that when in years time, when the zero fee tourist company collapse, when they turn to our market, the customers are already, we have already established a really high acceptance and a high awareness of our company's brand and also our goodwill in these high-end markets, which are very selective, exclusive, and premium.
Going into vertical integration into China and selling food into the designated travel agencies business seems to be a big investment. Where do you get the funding? I didn't see any cost analysis on that.
We believe that from the case, we know that we have been reaping constant profits from the past experiences, and we know that within the timeline, like in 2012 to 2015, where we only expand our business from the existing business to PPT, we do not actually spend a lot of money in that. We just expand our business and we just enhance the promotion and also the premium campaigns. So basically, we maintain a very high retention rate in the years that we conduct the acquisition, and also we are very selective on the acquisition. We do not acquire more than 50% of the market. We just pick one or two largest brands of these DAs, of these high-end DAs in the Chinese market that are worthwhile and that have a very significant effect to our business. Because we do not, as you have said and you have suggested, we do not have enough resources to acquire a lot of DAs. But we do believe that with our steady income source and with our steady profitable source, we believe that we do have the resources to acquire one or two or a handful of these DAs in the mainland China to ensure an even more steady profitable source. And we believe that we are also creditworthy from the banks to borrow, in case we do need to borrow to finance our acquisitions. Because we have a very strong and healthy balance sheet from the profitable sources.
You also mentioned that you will spend a lot in marketing, promotion in China. So that adds up all your investment costs, basically.
We believe that for a long-term goal, we do hope that we can acquire DAs from China. But again, we believe that it's a long-term aim, and there may be fluctuation in those investment costs, and there may be fluctuation in profits, and that's what we are looking for, but we may not move to there by 2015, but we are certainly looking for a vertical integration.
There are also regulations that you have to look into, right?
Yes.
So what about if you cannot find any partner in China?
Well, then of course we maintain a very close strategic partnership as we have been doing in the past years and also in the coming years. Because before the acquisition, we do want to maintain a very steady income source and especially a supply for the high-end tourists. So even though we are not able to acquire one of these DAs, we do still have a very strong and keen collaboration and relationship with these companies. So basically, a partnership is a short-term goal, and the acquisition is a long-term goal. So if we are not able to acquire these companies in the short term, then we will leave it and maybe postpone the plan to a few years later. But we do maintain a very strategic partnership, and with the rising potential that we see in this market, we believe that the demand for these companies and for us will be increasing consistently in the years to come, and we believe that the DAs have to look for a profitable supply, so we are their choice, and they have to, a strategic partnership is being formed in this way. So in the short term, we maintain.
I need to stop you here. Sorry, the time is up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, students, for your presentation. And I'd like to extend my thanks to the judges, Andy Fong. Thank you on behalf of the Esteban, thank you.
Thank you.
And Jonathan Silver, thank you for being here. I'd like to ask everyone to leave the room except for the judges.